Day 1. God first, God always. What's most important? Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be provided for you. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. You came here, obviously, looking to invest some set-aside time into your marriage. That's great. What we find, however, is that no matter what we're seeking to improve, enhance, refresh, or even to rescue, whether our marriage, our work, our schedule, or our golf game, there is always one best place to start. And we can say it like this: we dedicate these next 30 days to the Lord. Let's be serious, not sanctimonious when we say that, because He's not supposed to be the main subject only at church and at Easter. He's not just God for those moments when we single Him out for special attention, or when we know we're in over our head with a particular situation and are needing to call in the heavy artillery. He is God first, and He is God always. Here is where we begin, or else we will not end up where we intended to go. So, in case you were ready to dive right into the number one hot topic issue on your marriage radar today, you are. And by the time we actually dial that one up, the one that's most on your mind right now, you'll be so glad you decided to go directly to God first instead of directly into what appears to be your most pressing agenda item. The Bible is littered with some pretty major examples of people wanting to get moving with the action of their lives rather than putting God first from the start. The ancient children of Israel, you'll recall, after being delivered from bondage in Egypt, showed a real penchant for this kind of impatience, none more grievous than at the base of Mount Sinai while Moses was meeting face to face with God. The Lord had appeared on the mountain amid thunder and smoke, calling Moses to ascend into His holy presence for the receiving of the law. The whole scene had left the awesome impression that something of major significance was happening there. But when Moses, in the people's estimation, was delayed in coming down from the mountain, Exodus chapter 32, verse 1, some of their on-the-ground leadership decided God was just slowing down the operation. That's when they constructed the golden calf, foolishly thinking the God it represented could speed things along toward the land of milk and honey they'd been hearing about. Years later, King Saul, trying to fend off the pesky Philistines, had been told ahead of time to wait for Samuel in a certain city, where this spiritual leader of Israel would offer sacrifices and give him further direction from God. But Samuel, again in the people's estimation, hadn't shown up quickly enough to suit them. 1 Samuel chapter 13, verses 11 through 12. And so, pressuring Saul, they intimidated him into rolling ahead with that burnt offering business on his own, with disastrous consequences for his future as king. Here's the lesson to learn from this. If we want to do things right, we start in the right place, by putting God in first place. That's what Nehemiah did. As a Jewish exile serving the Persian king, he became grief-stricken one day when his brother arrived from the Israelite homeland, fresh with news of the struggles their people were enduring. The city lay in ruins, its walls and former glories broken down. Nehemiah, after prayerfully petitioning the king, was given royal permission to lead a work group there to rebuild the infrastructure that had fallen victim to marauders and general decay. The first thing he noticed on arrival, after making a crash inspection, was the enormity of the task before him, against all kinds of enemy opposition. There was a whole lot to do, and no time to lose. But if anything good was going to come from their efforts, it would only happen by first believing the God of heaven is the one who will grant us success. Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 20. So, as an opening statement to this enormous action plan, delegated among hundreds of volunteers, designed to restore the entire wall and gate structure around the historic city of Jerusalem, home to a proud nation's hearts, Eliashib, the high priest, began rebuilding the sheep gate. They dedicated it